There's a real strong legacy of Orthodoxy in America, and it really started here in Sitka and has kind of branched out over time. Bishop David is here as part of his investment ceremony, which means that he will be officially designated as the Bishop of Alaska, and he will be proceeding from the Russian Bishop's house, which is the home, or has been the home, of many, many bishops over time, and will be proceeding from here to St. Michael's, where his ceremony will ultimately culminate, and he will finally be installed as the Bishop of Alaska.
And we just welcome you all and hope that you enjoy the tour that we have planned for you. And again, thank you for allowing us to be part of this celebration as hosting the investiture for Bishop-elect David.
James, I think we're good. All right, so everyone can follow me. Excuse me, thank you. Welcome, everyone. This house is really significant with its history of the number of bishops that have lived here and the number of saints that have lived in this home. So, this weekend is just a great opportunity for members of the Orthodox community to come and learn a little bit about the heritage and history of the people that have lived in this home, and the significance of this home in the history of Russian Orthodoxy in North America.
So all the people who have traveled from all over the country are here really to celebrate one moment, and that is the investment of Bishop David, His Grace, as the Bishop of Alaska. So this is a really historic, important event for the National Park Service, for Sitka National Historical Park as a unit of the National Park Service, for the Orthodox Church in America, and of course for the Russian Bishop's house. And it's all centered here on the Russian Bishop's house, which is really one of the places where Russian Orthodoxy gained a real strong foothold in Alaska back in the 1840s and even earlier. There are no other national park units that commemorate the history of Russian America. This is the only one. This is one of only 4 historic buildings left from the Russian American colonial era, and it is really unique in that it was the historic home of the Russian bishops. So we have not only many of Bishop Innocent's original things, but we have his original chapel, and there's just a long legacy of the importance of the Russian Bishop's house, not only in Sitka, but also for the Russian Orthodox faith. So in 1972, Congress approved the purchase of the Russian Bishop's house by the National Park Service from the Russian Orthodox Church. At that time, the house was in a bit of disrepair. It was built in 1842, so as you can imagine, it had seen over a century of use and needed some work done on it. So the first thing the Park Service undertook after the purchase was a restoration of the house. That restoration period took over 15 years. And as part of it, we really dissected the house, and both externally and internally. As it turned out, there was a number of objects in the house that were owned by the Russian Orthodox Diocese of Sitka and Alaska. And so in 1976, the Park Service and the Russian Orthodox Church came to an agreement about what to do with these objects. Culturally, artistically, it was so significant to the Russian Bishop's house as a historic site, it made sense to have them remain in the Russian Bishop's house. And so that started our loan agreement for those objects to be stored in the house, although owned by the Russian Orthodox Church. One of the stipulations for the loan is that the Russian Orthodox Church is able to use the Russian Bishop's house and use the chapel and the sanctuary for religious services. This weekend, the investiture of Father David as the new Bishop of Sitka and Alaska is another really exciting event taking place in the house. And really, it's just it's another example of the terms of the loan agreement, that old loan agreement, being carried out, in addition to being a really exciting thing that breathes life back into the objects that belong in the house.
And then you can see there's a piece of glass or plexiglass in front of them, so that they still have, when they still have services here, those same icons will get to be here generations, you know, and that's, you know, the Park Service wants to preserve things for future generations, so glad, you know, so honored to be a part of that. Today, the bishop is actually, there's actually going to be the ceremony where Bishop David becomes the bishop. And first they're going to gather here at the Russian Bishop's house in various rooms, and they're going to put on their vestments, and they're they're special vestments because it's a very special occasion. The Orthodox Church is very grounded in tradition and history, and so there's a lot of ritual and pageantry to it because Bishop is a special occasion.
We chose the Bishop's house as part of the installation of Bishop David in the spirit of St. Innocent, where this was his house, and St. Innocent being the first bishop of St. Michael's Cathedral. And it is always appropriate to process from the house where the bishop resided to the church. And so what better place to be able to begin but where our Saint Innocent lived and ministered, and to have the bishops beginning their procession to the cathedral in the morning. The priests will be lined up along the street, and as the procession passes, the priests will fall in behind, and the procession will continue all the way to the cathedral with the bells ringing the entire time. So it sort of cements our love for this house and our love for what the Park Service has been able to do for us in maintaining and keeping the spirit alive for us.